And we're live. This is the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube, doing a holiday makeup. Yeah, it's weird. This is Christmas, and I'm doing a live stream. And yay, Lori's here. Thank you for coming, Lori. I was wondering if anyone was going to show up. I'm doing this now because, for one, my husband's at church. He's Filipino, therefore 90% of the Philippines is Catholic, and you can take the boy out of the church or however that goes. So I thought, well, I could do a couple videos while he's at church. So I'll start early with the makeup. And so here we are. Oh, Britt is here. Merry Christmas. It's not weird. Fit, yay, Fit's here. So, I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't actually going to be a holiday makeup. For one, I don't do green, and I hope everyone's doing I hope everyone is having a very happy holiday. Mine's pretty interesting because I've been talking about going to buy a house here in Vegas now that we've gotten settled in and we know the area, we know a couple people. And on my birthday, which is the 21st of December, I put a bid on a house and it was accepted. So assuming the closing process goes through, I've actually bought property here in Vegas. So Merry Christmas. Oh, Mooney's here. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, or what's that other one? Festivus, whatever. Happy holidays. You have to go to sleep. Thank you for popping in. And I know it's a holiday, so if people pop in and out, I'm more than happy. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think, is just I did purple eyebrows. So I guess I'm just going to do maybe a purple, pink. Maybe I'll put in some orange. Oh, and I just grabbed the wrong color. And that was dumb. We were going to go to a Christmas party Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday. And the hostess called because she was having like family over. And they've been like hanging out as her family gathers for this Halloween party. And it turned out her 2 members of the party tested positive for COVID. And oh, I felt so bad. And she was like, well, I mean, we have the food and everything, but just to let you know, a couple of people that came in contact with people with COVID within the last couple of days. So we were like, well, we'll just go ahead and stay at home and wish you the best and hope everyone turns out to be okay, which they are. But God, the times we are living in. Oh, Kayla's here. Yay. And thank you, Britta. Yes, we bought a house. Put some money in the Boxing Day sales. See, we don't have Boxing Day in the States. So, oh, well, 2 negative tests. It's been a week, so he's probably good. Gosh, the times we live in. This is a Doctor Who coffee mug. It's the TARDIS and some impressionistic style. Okay, so let's get started. I need to slap some makeup on. Because what I would like to do today is I would like to do a Wheel of Time video just to finish up that series. I've been kind of regretting doing it. But it's one of those things where I think, well, I started it, I should just finish this. And this is the season finale. So I think it's a more enjoyable Amazon series if you didn't read the books. But because I'm having a hard time getting into the series, knowing the things that they've changed. And I really don't think it does justice to the source material. But and I don't see, this is why I'm having trouble figuring out if I'm objective or not, because there are certainly series and movies where they've changed things a lot, but I don't mind it. Like the Expanse series on Amazon, I really do like that. Show, even though I know they depart from the source material a bit. Okay, maybe I'll blend it with orange, just to be different. Oh, I finished up the Leviathan Falls. Jumping around. I can't even see this orange. And I gave it 5 stars, but I gave it 5 stars based on the series. I do that a lot. If I finish up a series and I like the series overall, I'll still give 5 stars. But that said, and it's been a while since I've read any of the Expanse books, but I forgot how slow they start. And I'm not sure about this one, but it felt like there was just a lot of exposition, like they didn't have as much plot as they usually do, so they just filled it in with exposition. Anyway, I did like the ending of the Expanse books. And the Expanse series, I understand. I mean, this is the last season, which kind of sucks, but I understand why they. Ooh, this is way uneven. I understand why they cut out some portions of from the books, like a full book or two. I mean, one of the Expanse books is just pretty much in a prison. One person in a prison. But and that would have made a terrible season. Okay, let me catch up. Disappointed in the last episode, Wheel of Time. 6 out of 10. Wow. Hey, Cappuccino. Hey, Kayla. Yeah, I will definitely watch season 2. I don't think I'm going to do videos on season 2 because it was pretty rough. Thank you for popping in, Mooney. I do like The Witcher. I don't know anything about The Witcher source material though, but I like the Netflix series. Owl House. Have to check that out. Parents' home had to go on COVID lockdown this week. A resident tested positive, but I was able to drop stuff off for them. Yeah, if you didn't hear, a party I was supposed to go to got had some people exposed to COVID. Cats will do that. 79 cases of COVID the first week of opening our borders. You know, a lot of people that have read the books have liked the book. There's some people that have read the books, I mean, that like the series. There's some people that have read the books that hate the series. And like I said, I don't think it does justice to the source material. And it's hard for me to be objective for some reason about watching that. Oh yeah, I got my booster. Hey, not everything is for everyone. Red Lobster. Hey, that sounds delicious. Can't go wrong with lobster. I want a bright orange. These oranges aren't blending. So this is supposed to be purple and then orange. And try a different purple. I did watch my favorite version of Christmas Carol, which is the Bill Murray version, Scrooged. I just think it's so clever and funny. Honestly, I think Bill Murray is an underrated comedy actor. In fact, the funniest movie I have ever seen is the man who knew too little, and I can watch that over and over and still crack up laughing. And the movie was probably, was it the 90s or 80s? I mean, it's an older movie. Oh, you don't feel good. Too much lobster? I've started creating a booktube journal for next year, so I will remember which booktuber recommended a book. Oh, that's cool. Do you have the flu or cold or just Indian? Oh, I love Indian food. Oh, good. Britta saw it. It's not like his most well-known movie. His most well-known movie is probably Groundhog Day, which is good too. But The Man Who Knew Too Little is just crazy hilarious in my opinion. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with pink as the other half of this. I can do a third color. The premise of The Man Who Knew Too Little is this I think it's sort of, I guess he's kind of a loser, supposed to be a loser type character. Guy in his probably 30s or whatever, who still works at Blockbuster. And he has a very successful, and lives in the United States, and has a very successful brother who is some type of banker in England. So he surprises his brother by arriving in England for Christmas. So I guess it is a holiday movie, or his birthday. I forget. But anyway, the brother has this big important meeting. So he sends him out on this theater of life, which is sort of like a role-playing theater where the audience or the person participates in some type of role-playing scenario. And it's supposed to be, of course, some type of crime story or a spy story. But of course, he gets mixed up, and he ends up being in a real spy drama. I mean, there's actual spies, killing each other, but through the entire movie, he thinks that he's in a role-playing acting troupe. I thought it was funny. You have to see it. Pausing Snow Crash and reading Minority Report, the Philip K. Dick. I've seen it, but I don't remember it well. Trying to finish the Ivies, the digital library. Yeah, I like the Ivies, the Alexa Dunn book. And I am not that into thrillers. It's certainly not young adult thrillers. I want some other color here, and I think blue would look too weird. Sorry, I'm reaching around trying to find. Oh, that's what I want. Ooh, I may regret this phone. Try yellow. Showing. But I have started the Nnedi Okorafor novel, Noor. And it's too early to say because I'm only on like chapter 2. But I don't know. So far, it seems very slow moving. The whole prologue and very long first chapter seem to be more world building, info dumpy type thing, type writing. And the writing is good, but I think I'm going to look forward to when the plot starts getting going. You know, some books just have slow beginnings, and I don't mind that. Can you see the yellow on? I have another type of yellow, just see if this deepens it at all. Not really. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there and cut the crease and go from there. Purple, orange, gold. I went with yellow, so it does mix into the orange. And I was thinking about doing gold glitter on my crease. I should reread The Illustrated Man. That's short stories, right? Or each story from a tattoo, something like that. It was very good. I think I have to read it before I might be remembering the stories from the Ray Bradbury Theater. That was funny because the Ray Bradbury Theater, I remember when it came out, and I was really excited about it because it's like I think they're half hour. It's like Twilight Zone, but they're all Ray Bradbury stories, and he certainly has enough short stories in his library to do several seasons of a show just with his shorts. But the thing I remember thinking about the Ray Bradbury Theater is I don't think his writing translates to television as well as maybe some other authors. Like I remember there was one story about the kids who there's like a virtual reality room and they're like obsessed with Africa and lions, and the lions eventually eat the parents. And I remember being so impacted by it, reading it as a short story, but it just didn't have the oomph when it was translated to film or to that show. Yeah, I love Bradbury. And the other, I should have done the under eyes too. Oh, I'll do that later. The other television show they did with Bradbury was the Martian Chronicles with Rock Hudson, who I believe had AIDS at the time and kept it quiet. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it was earlier than that. But actually, I want to add a little bit of black. But the Martian Chronicles, I watched it. I enjoyed it. It was, something I really wanted to see, and I was very excited when it came out. But honestly, it didn't have the impact that the short stories had, or the Stitch Up novel had. Stitch Up being a collection of short stories linked together in a cohesive or a storyline. Which actually would make it very hard to do as a as a movie, but should kind of work as a series because you have so much more time. Okay. Ooh, rain and snow. I was wondering if it's going to snow in Vegas this year. Oh, the Velt. Okay, thank you, Lynette. Yes, the Illustrated Man. Yeah, it does snow in Vegas once in a while because it does get chilly. I mean, deserts in the winters can be pretty cold. Right now it's about in the 50s. So, oh, listening to Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah, I do not miss snow. I lived in Maryland growing up as a teen. So we definitely dealt with snow. But of course, I was the one that always had to like shovel the walk and do all that stuff that is really annoying. The worst is when it sleets or rains and then hardens and then snow falls on top of that. So you can't just shovel snow, you have to like scrape it. But it's been so long since I lived in snow. Maybe they have new technology that makes that easy. But I remember when I lived in Maryland, this was as a teenager, um, we had a long driveway. So it would take forever, hours and hours to clear the driveway if it sleeted and hardened. Oh man, I went way too high with the black. Okay. Mm. Okay. Hey, shoveling snow. Yep. It's almost 50 here yesterday. It's 23. Whoa, that's a big shift. Oh, hey, Dane. Thank you for popping in. Happy Christmas to you. I have 15 books lined up to read in January. Yeah, I just don't read as much as some of you guys. 15 books would take me a while. I don't even know if I'm going to hit my goal for this year, my Goodreads goal of 50 books. And I probably will. I'm just like at 48. But you never know what happens during the holiday. Whew. Yeah, I'm more like 3 or 4 books a month. I want to hit 200. Wow. 31 books. Novellas do count. Oh, good. Fit and I are about the same. It's a short story. Okay, so I cut the crease. Get rid of this bake. Okay. So let me do the white underneath. Now I should do, maybe I'll do blue underneath. Just do something really different for me. Okay. And this look crazy, the blue underneath. Blend it a little. Actually. First book you're reading in January, it's nonfiction and is about how the alphabet came to be in the order it is. Yeah, honestly, that sounds a little boring, but interesting. Hey, Devlin. Yes, I did. I have HBO Max, which I think I'm going to cancel probably next month. I had bought like 3 months for $7 a month. Anyway, I saw the Matrix, and Black Southern cook Edna Lewis. The Matrix, when it first came out, the first trilogy, I still think the very first movie is the masterpiece. When you're first introduced to the world, when you first see the blue pill, red pill, and then the series to me got weaker and weaker. I mean, I liked the second series, the second movie and the third movie. I was okay with, but I didn't think it was a good conclusion. I'll just leave it at that. Not my favorite one. So this, what's this called? Resurrection, Reloaded, Resurrection. It felt like a movie for the fans of the original Matrix, which I enjoyed because there was a lot of callback to the original series. I mean, the original movies, and I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. Again, not my favorite. My favorite is the very first Matrix movie, but I had fun with this, with the Resurrections. And like I said, it just felt like a love letter to the original fans of The Matrix, more than a standalone movie. But you would have to find someone that has never seen any of the Matrix movies and just sees this one to get an objective opinion. But that's how I felt. Okay, so I think I'm going to do some black liner. It was something. Tell us a little more of your opinion, Jeff. Is something good, something bad? I mean, I thought there's a lot of like tongue-in-cheek references to the first movie. Or maybe I was reading too much into it. I don't know. Okay, Sliner's dead. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with this eyeliner now. It's not looking. Okay. I am going to. Oh, let me do this. Now let me put the. I keep going back and forth. Can't make up my mind. As per usual. The original Matrix was done by the Wachowski siblings. I think they were both born male, but they both transitioned. But they did a series on Matrix. I mean, on Netflix. That is one of my favorite shows ever. I don't know if you've seen it, Sense8. That's SE and SE, the number 8, Sense8. But it had a really interesting premise that psychics are born on Earth, or these people are born on Earth that have a psychic connection to each other, but they're in groups of 8. And they can be from all over the world. Like one could be in United States, one could be in Germany, one could be in India or China. But in my opinion, really good series. And speaking of looking at both Sense8 and Matrix from those Wachowski siblings, it feels as though they're based on a novel. And I don't believe Matrix or Sense8 are, but they just have that deep storytelling quality. When you see the show for the first time, you think, oh, this must be William Gibson or whoever. And I don't know there's many other filmmakers that are like that can do that. It's a few. Okay, let me put on some of the gold glitter. Did I bring it out? Yeah. You won't like Bill and Ted? I am mad about Keanu movies, but I do think he is a perfect fit for the role in The Matrix. Watch Bill and... Yeah, they're pretty silly. By real life Keanu. I kind of can't forgive Keanu for his wooden performance and much. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen the original Bram Stoker Dracula, where he played Harwick, the guy that first visits Dracula. Harding? I forget the character's name, but he is awful in it. Oh, good. Britta saw Sense8. My sister really loved John Wick. They're super violent. Not my favorite movies. But yeah, Keanu is one of those people. I mean, I like him a lot in some of his roles, but he's one of those actors that doesn't really have a range, and you have to find that range for his acting style or whatever. But if you've never seen My Own Private Idaho, it is an absolute brilliant movie where he plays a Mail Street hustler with River Phoenix. I think it's a brilliant performance. But I guess it more showcases River Phoenix than it does Keanu. But the ultimate actor that has a limited range is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because especially when he started, I think his first movie was How the West Was Won. But in the 80s, he chose movies that he was absolutely perfect for, notably Terminator and Conan, where the dialogue was at a minimum, and he didn't have a huge range of emotions that he needed to show. But boy, those were both. I guess Conan's not for everyone, but I liked it. But whoever, I don't know if it's Schwarzenegger or his agent or whoever picks the scripts for him, usually does a good job of sticking within his range. I need to use my finger. Another good Schwarzenegger movie is Total Recall. I'm wondering, maybe I should have done an under layer of orange under this gold, but it's too late now. I still maintain that Tom Cruise doesn't have a big range as an actor, but he has gotten that action adventure hero role or character down that you see in several of his movies. And he does that well. Okay. Glitter is on. Feel sorry about River Phoenix's death. Yeah. And I think he got hooked on the harder drugs during the filming of My Own Private Idaho, because he's one of those method actors, I think, that gets into their characters. And the hustlers they were playing, I think, were and interviewing to play the roles were really into drugs. Yeah. Yeah, just a couple lines. Clint Eastwood's also one note, but we can't stop watching him. That's true. Yeah, Total Recall. Dev likes Total Recall. It's hard to compare the original to the source material. What's I going to do? Go back to the purple. See if I can marry it into the gold a little bit more. Oh, I feel like the gold's coming off. Come on. Okay. One thing about glitter is I find it on my face like days later. One of my favorite actresses is Shirley MacLaine. And I love her in that movie with Clint Eastwood, A Mule for, or Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Okay, so go in with the, I need to get more of this stuff. What time is it? I was hoping to do this fast because my husband's at church and I wanted to, because I want to, spend the holiday with him, but really needed to film some videos. I was thinking about doing Shelve It or Shove It, but I realized I haven't done like my top 10, bottom 10 for 2020. So if I wait to do that next week, which means I'd be doing it on New Year's Day. Oh, shit. Let's just. So I wanted to do the my tops and bottoms for 2020. And maybe finish up my last Wheel of Time video, just to get that over with. Okay. And maybe if I have time, I'll do Shelve It or Shove It. Yeah, I really don't know why that Shelve It or Shove It is really kind of my most consistently popular videos. And for me, popular means like over 100 views. Okay. So what I had forgotten to do is finish up the liner here. Okay, so there, my eyes are done. Except for the lashes. But I don't think I want to do any more than this. I don't know if I like the white all the way across. Of course, I say I'm done and then keep going. And a little bit of white. Okie dokie. So I think this side looks so much better than this side. I can't watch Scientology Nutted. Yeah, that's true. Merry Christmas, Kelly. Thank you for joining us. That strange little man. Yeah, I'm sort of backed up here. Yeah, I did like Minority Report. Like I said, I think I like the movies either he picks or his agent picks. Oh, I'm really backed up. Oh, mine too, Dev. Sweet Charity, if the Bob Fosse, Shirley MacLaine movie is, wow. War of the World in the Victorian era with the Thunderchild scene included. There is a BBC version of War of the Worlds that was Victorian, I think. Oh, I also love the original Angelica Houston version of The Witches and the Roald Dahl book. The elevator pitches. They're not very popular, and they take a lot more effort to film because they have to be scripted and you have to have like two people. Excuse me, got better at DNFing. Sometimes you can learn something by critically. That's true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm almost the same way. When I picked up that book for because it got the whatever horror award that's awarded, the Edgar Allan Poe Award, whatever award that was. And I really wanted an adult horror novel. That was a tough one for me. That was tough. But I didn't DNF it too, but I felt like DNFing it several times. Oh, poor Anne Rice. Yeah, Anne Rice passed away. I don't know. I don't really feel like rereading her because it's quite a commitment if you do the like Vampire Lestat books. Although you could get away with just interview Lestat and Queen of the Damned. But my favorite Anne Rice still is the Witching Hour books, the Mayfield Witches. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Desert Witch, thank you for popping in. Merry Christmas. Out of Egypt but I wasn't up to reading that month, so I skipped. Huh. What am I doing? Let's put on lips. I think I'm okay with these eyes. Oh, I think I'm just going to do glitter lips, so let's keep it glittery. Who's the other author that passed away? Oh, Joan Didion. Don't think I've ever read anything by Joan Didion. I may have read like excerpts of her, what's her famous one? Flatching to Bethlehem. But do For some reason, I get her mixed up because I read in college a book called Pilgrim at Tinker's Creek, and I don't know why I keep thinking that's Joan Didion, but it's not. Not quite even, but good enough. I just had that lipstick. Here we are. Okie dokie. Ramses and loved it. Not sure if I ever read The Vampire Lestat or just watched the movie. It's a very good book, Lestat and Queen of the Damned. The first book she wrote was Interview with the Vampire, and I don't think that's as well written as the next two books. And I don't think you need to read Interview to get to the other two. Oh, you're magical thinking. Oh, that's a Joan Didion book. Yeah, it's hard for me to cry with a book. Sometimes I tear up, especially at the end of a book. I think I teared up at the end of the Leviathan Falls. I'm having a problem with a different series. I purposely have spaced out my reads. Yeah, she's just one of those writers like that's been so influential for a portion of our history that it seems incumbent that we should read a little bit of or something by Joan Didion. Also Truman Capote. Also, thinking of authors from that time period, Ken Keyes and Hunter S. Thompson. Okie dokie. Yes, Robin Hobb. If you get to the very last book of the Elderling series, let me know, because that one broke me. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be in a certain mood. Oh, that's funny, because Britta just tagged me on something called the Philosophy Book Tag, which I filmed last week. I haven't edited it. Who knows when I'll ever post it. I mean, I'll post it at some point. But one of the questions was about canceling authors because of beliefs or actions. And I think I want to sneeze, but I'm trying not to. Excuse me. I think the unsatisfying answer is it just depends on each individual situation. Because there are certainly authors that I have no trouble reading who are dead. And that's most authors. But then every once in a while, there's something that'll come up where it's just like, oh, it's hard for me to read this author. For example, Marion Zimmer Bradley has passed away. She's never been convicted of child abuse, but it's her daughter and I think her son had some, if you believe them, there were some horrific things that went on, which makes it, even though she's passed away, it makes it hard for me to read Marion Zimmer Bradley. And David Eddings, he's an epic fantasy writer. He wrote Belgariad and a bunch of books I liked in the 80s, 90s. And I drifted away from him. But anyway, I recently found out that he had passed away, he and his wife, Leigh. And then all this crazy stuff started coming out about him, about he and his wife adopted children in the 60s, 70s, and kept them in cages. I mean, wild stuff. And it's like, gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I have any desire to revisit David Eddings. But then again, I have no trouble with Lovecraft or I guess any writer that really wasn't in my lifetime that may be problematic. I think the answer is that it should not matter, but we are humans. I mean, work should be able to stand on their own, but since we're humans, we're just going to be affected by the things we read. And the whole game changer is social media. Because I swear to you, before 2000, no one knew anything about authors. Unless you were like studying them in school or something, or the life of Hemingway or Faulkner or whatever. Or Didion. But prior to the 2000s, when there was no social media, you just didn't hear about authors. You just didn't know if they're problematic or not. I mean, they were just the most opaque of the artists. Not like an actor, they had the gossip sheets, or a singer where you would know everything about their personal life. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around how much social media has changed our society. I mean, for better or worse, it's here to stay. So you just gotta get used to it. I mean, the other example I give is Orson Scott Card. And I recognize that Orson Scott Card and Marion Zimmer Bradley have written really important books. And I recommend those books. It's just I personally have a hard time reading them now because I know about their personal life. And regarding Orson Scott Card, as I remember during the Prop 8, you guys probably don't even know this. It's very local to California. There's something called Proposition 8 in the history of gay marriage. I was actually married a couple times. Or the mayor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom, legalized gay marriage in San Francisco. I want to say 2007. So anyway, me and Dennis, we got married then. But then I guess I want to say the courts stopped that, and it was really questionable whether we had a legal marriage. And then anyway, during this time there was a opposition group called Focus on Family. Was that it? But Orson Scott Card was one of those members, and he was very vociferous against gay marriage at the time, and said some really, really crazy, what I thought was over-the-top things. Like, I think I could read an author that opposes gay marriage, but knowing what he did politically made it hard for me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on so long about this. Rarely cancel dead authors, but I want living problematic authors to make money, or not to make money off me, right? I agree that it is different for living authors because I am directly financially supporting them, but it's complicated. Like I said, I think it's just a case-by-case basis for me. Yeah, I'm with Lori. It's fluid. But some authors are just too much even when they are dead. Zimmer Bradley, can't read her. And I think she wrote an important feminist version of the Arthurian legend with the Mists of Avalon. She's not my favorite author, though. I think some things, once you know them about an artist or an author, you can't forget. Yeah. Yep. J.K. Rowling will not back down on what is a real woman argument. Yeah, that's... Oh, Laurie remembers Prop 8. Yeah. Same with Lovecraft. Okay, let me put on some eyelashes. If I can get them out here. Last week I used the weave glue. I think I'm going to do it again. It's just nice not having to wait to let the glue dry. I will say there does seem to be a lot of pettiness that goes on social media, which I thankfully don't know much about, because I really don't use Twitter. I know I have a Twitter account and I post when I post a video, and once in a while I'll like go through and like or retweet some of your guys' tweets or people I know. But I'm really not on it enough to hear about some of the weird accusations that authors and YouTubers make against each other. It's just so much to keep track of until you see it in someone else's video. Oh, shoot. Okay. I think I am just going to finish this up. Oh, let me put on a wig. I'm showing off this makeup without a wig or earrings or... Oh, yes. And you can find this on Project Gutenberg, so you don't even have to, you can just look it up online. The original Dr. Dolittle is some of the most racist stuff. And I remember liking it as a child. I don't know if I got some abridged version or if it just didn't register with me, but it is bad. It is bad. Okay, I thought this was my most festive wig, and since it's the holidays. Okay. Yeah, the Dr. Dolittle one really threw me. And it's funny because it was about the time they were like doing the Dr. Dolittle movie with Robert Downey Jr. And I was thinking to myself, man, this is a story they decided on. But I guess they base it more on the 60s Disney version, which had some racist elements to it too. But okay, this is the final look. How many hours? I'd like 400 or 500 hours away, somewhere in that range. So, I mean, 400 or 500 out of 4,000 doesn't sound like much, but it is. Yay, like the wig. Thank you, Dev. Yeah, very Marie Antoinette or Winnie from the that Halloween movie, the Bette Midler, Hocus Pocus. Fantastical. I came so close to getting another one of these fantastical wigs, but they're a little expensive, and maybe later. If I get monetization, I'll get one of those wigs. Okay, guys, it is. Okay, I've been here an hour and a half. I've got my full look together, and I need to film a couple videos and then spend the rest of the day with my husband. And I hope you guys have a happy holiday with your loved ones or with yourselves. And please stay safe from COVID, because I know things are crazy now. And I think that's it. I will hopefully see you next week. I plan on doing it next week, but it is on New Year's Day. So if something comes up, I'll post something on my community tab. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.